All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Right. So let's see. Our next guest on the show is our big boss, Seun Kuti. When you see him write on social media, you know that he's a guy that doesn't hold back anything. He feels he has that thing in him that he feels like, you know what, this is what we're going through as a country, this is what we're going through as an industry, and it needs to be fixed. So let me see if he's in the building. Who is COVID-19 join? Let me see. Hi, Stylish by Reuven. I see you. Yeah, we're ready. All right, good, thanks. All right. All right, well, wait for him to come on. Hope you've been enjoying the conversation so far. We've had brilliant, very, very brilliant people come on the show today. It's always been like this. Okay. All right. So while we wait for Seun Kuti to join us, hi everyone. Sorry, we're waiting for Seun Kuti to join us. I'm just still trying to write down a few things while we get ready for that session. I can't wait. So yeah, so I can answer a few questions while we wait for him. I can answer a few questions if you have a few questions for me on here. I can answer your questions. All right, we have him here. My boss. Good evening.
How far? What's good?
I do.
Nah, me, I don't lie down no. Since nine
No
thirty,
vex.
eleven don't knock.
No vex. You know, say we need to close. You need to do closing prayer for us.
Ah,
All right. So what we've basically been discussing about on the show is about our entertainment industry, which
okay.
um, yourself and your brothers, and most especially your father, is the reason why a lot of us are doing what we're doing today. I want to say thank you for sharing your father and your brothers with us, you know, and making sure that you keep pushing the culture every day. So we're talking about our music industry. What do you think we currently run in Nigeria? Do you think we have a structured music industry that can stand the test of time?
Well, I think it's mainly a music business. We are still developing many aspects of it, but the problem of it is that Nigeria itself is not a manufacturing company, and if we cannot manufacture a lot of the tools that we use to to do the business as it is, quote and unquote, then we cannot really create an industry. We need to start looking at how we can wait. If we're looking up my nose, see, see how we can go from manufacturing to finished products to distribution, just independently, and actually tap into our own market for the benefit of the artists and also the people that put money on it. You can't really say the industry.
So
Like,
you still think that we're okay? So
and
looking
many
at
artists are beholden to big corporations to keep their career going. So music doesn't really feed a lot of artists. Music is just the avenue that a lot of artists use to earn a living by themselves becoming products that they can sell to big corporations to market their goods and make money. That's where the money really is. The money is not in them, you know, doing shows or selling music or their streaming numbers or things like that.
okay, looking at traveling around the world, performing at concerts. When you look, when you
Nepa don't take lights. Oh, wait, they're going to put on the gen. So anyway, you don't have to see my face. I can hear you. Keep
okay,
going.
so looking at what we currently you traveling around the world, this is exactly what we are discussing right now. Structure in place to make sure that NEPA doesn't take light. This is crazy. Oh wow. This is really, really crazy. So traveling around traveling around the world, performing at shows and concerts, coming back to Nigeria, what do you think in Nigeria we can actually do to set things in place for our industry in terms of how shows should be organized, keeping to time, and all of that at concerts?
Well, me, I don't think keeping to time is the problem of Nigerian shows per se. I think the problem with Nigeria, doing shows in Nigeria, is that Nigerian people cannot really afford to pay the kind of tickets that will make artists rich. So even when we do shows in Nigeria, we have to try and sell the shows to corporate bodies who will buy, few tickets at exorbitant prices.
Hmm.
And even when we're able to do big shows, how much do you want to charge? You charge 5,000 naira. That's $12, right?
Yeah.
What's that? Before you pay your cost, before you but abroad, like in the club, you're doing a show, you can charge $30, $40. People can afford that, and those are not the rich people. So you can play for larger numbers, you can do more shows. And I think those for me, those are the things that really matter here. We need a stronger working class, and it's not only music. I mean, look at our sports. Why is the Nigerian league not great? Why was the league great in the 70s and 80s? Simple, the Naira was strong. Working class people could afford every weekend to go and watch a game. And the people now had money to invest, and things like that in the sport, and we had good facilities. But as soon as the Naira nosedived, all those things too started to nosedive. So I think it all ties together. We need a better country to get a better. There's no backward third world country with a working music industry. Maybe except Jamaica, but yeah, because the Jamaicans, they have a really good structure there for music.
So,
Caribbean.
so looking at Nigeria now, right? Looking at Nigeria right now, what you just said now is very, very important. Why do you think that as much as we've done entertainment-wise, music, movies, but we don't still have that position in Nigeria that the government takes us as an economy? Why do you think they're not really taking us as an economy? Because if they take us an economy to help, so what do you think is the reason why they've not taken us as an economy?
The numbers don't meet up. We are really loud about how we have all these billion that we can drop on people and stuff like that. But if we look at the numbers in 2015, we by ourselves decided to rebase our economy to calculate what Nigeria was worth, in terms of dollars. And when they finished rebasing the economy under Okojo Iweala, it was 505 billion naira, right? So all the businesses, everything we did in Nigeria, 505 billion. Apple alone is what? $1 trillion. Amazon, $1 trillion. Microsoft, $1 trillion. I mean, these are one company that is double the whole business. It's one company alone is doing double the whole business that we are doing in Nigeria. All of us, with all our rich billionaires, all of us combined, we are doing 505 billion. Apple alone, what? So, and really, that's why for me, when I see us like really, trying to plug into the international market, it can never really be a fair deal. It can never really be a fair deal because what they will give to us to take from us will never be worth what we will give them. Just because $500,000 is 200 million naira. You understand? It sounds like a lot of money, right? A lot of young people will let a lot of things go for that. But a young artist in America will never that is at that level will not let anything he has go for that amount of money. $1 million, even 5 million, in today's game, in popular music, commercial music numbers, not the kind of music I make, So I'm just saying, so, we have to really see the disparity, and if we face hard facts, we realize that many of us are even actually punching above our weights, We're actually doing what our economy is not supposed to be able to do, what we're not supposed to be able to do coming from an economy like this. But the reason for that again in Nigeria is that we in Nigeria as entertainers, we have a really important advantage, which is a disadvantage for the rest of Nigerians, but honestly, we don't care. Let's not act like we care. This is the point that, when Nigerian artists start forming activists, saying all these their deep words on Instagram and their Twitter, like they care about Nigerian people, I know it's a lie. And the evidence that is a lie is because we know our elites and corporations invest more on entertainment in Nigeria than education. They give more every year to our entertainment business than they give to education. It is not happening in any country in Africa or anywhere else in the world where the elites give more to entertainment than they give to education. That is why Nigerian musicians are able to punch so high above their weight. Let's stop telling the whole world how we are the best musicians in Africa. That's bull. All Africans are talented. All African music is great. The reason why the loudest music comes out of Africa is because it's Nigeria. We got the biggest funding behind us, So that is really the game. It's the funding Nigerian artists are able to squeeze out of this our little economy. It is out of proportion with what the economy should be able to do. That's why we're able to do so much, So I think for that reason we accept it, you know. So, and for the fact that we accept it, we are complicit. I don't want anybody to now come around and start acting like, you know, we don't see what is going on. We are not part of it. We are these people just doing our music and our talent is working wonders. Yes, we are talented. We are great, you know. But the reason why we do what we do is because we get more money, you know, from our elites and corporations than any other group in Africa. You know, not even the South Africans can boast of the kind of support that we get from our elites, you know. Yeah. So yeah, so that is the real issue. So for me, those are the things that, well, we have that going for us, even though it's bad for the country. You know, so but we must now try to look for the ways that we can use this thing to not only push ourselves, but create a foundation of something that maybe future generations can say, well, this generation of artists who are so blessed, let's if we can call it a blessing. You did not selfishly just use this thing and waste it on themselves. They were able to create something tangible that all of us can actually tap into today, you know, because that is a real problem in Nigeria, you know. Every generation, great talents come out and they fade away and there's nothing to fall back on, and many people end up poor, you know, even though they live a vibrant, you know, interesting life throughout their youth. There's no backing to see them through. You know, I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing artists, you know, ending up, you know, really struggling and things like that. And in every generation, only maybe a few, maybe 10 or every 100 or 1,000 artists are able to feed themselves and their family, you know. So these are the things we have to think about. We as young musicians in Africa, we need to bring some social aspects into our reasoning. You know, we cannot think like the people that are ruling us or that are on top of us. We can't think like them. We have to really begin to think like artists, creating communities where artists can develop, you know, and things like that. You know, I think that especially art musicians that don't have bands that they have to carry along and raise all the time. You know, yeah, create a community where young people can come and benefit of you know, and things like that. We need to do more of that. We can't just sit on what we have. You know, it's not going to be. History will not smile well at us. You know.
Wow. You see, there's something you've just said now that is very thought-provoking about. I always said this. A few days ago, I was talking to somebody that said a lot of our entertainers in Nigeria, when they hear that there's a campaign going on, they just go on their social media to support the campaign, but they truly don't care because they are doing it so that their fans will not call them out for not supporting. But when it comes to deep inside of them, care, they don't really care. Because the most
Go on.
Yeah, the most important thing is, are we doing this thing for social media or for our fans not to attack us, or this is the true love we have for our society, right? That's why we are doing what we are doing. So having said that, it kind of puts me in a position where I now feel like, okay, somebody else is seeing this thing. For example, when Two-Face came out and was demanding for change and all of that, when the heat came, he took the heat alone and went home, right? Now, demanding for the right things that should happen in Nigeria, in our entertainment industry, from our government and everyone, it takes a collective effort. It takes also those that have the voice. You have a voice and you use it. I have a voice, I use it. The Nigerian artists and everyone in the creative sector have a voice. Now, how do we use our voice properly to make sure that the government hears what we are saying and acts on it?
Okay. I think one of the most important things that Nigerian artists have to realize is that we have to make sure that our arts begin to represent our people. You don't have to become like a fella and be on the street or form political party, but your art has to represent your people. What I find for me that is wrong, you know, is that our art does not represent our people. The things we talk about in our art, you know, the experiences we narrate, you know, is something maybe 4 or 5% of Africans can actually relate to, you know, and the rest can only fake it or dream to be like that. you know. So what are we trying to, what message are we really trying to put out there? What image, what spirit are we projecting? You know, and there's a real divide, you know, for me in the way that we communicate with the people. You know, our people are not poor because they are stupid, and they are really not poor because they are lazy. You know, and the fact that people are poor does not automatically make them evil or haters. You know, that just want to bring you down. We as Nigerians, we are all surviving under scarcity. We are competing for scarce resources. And even in the top here, where we are forming big boy and musicians, we all know how we compete ferociously. Because even in this top, the resources are limited. We all have to compete ferociously. It's scarce. You know, so I see our art as something that actually divides because it does not create solidarity. You know, it it alienates us from the people. You know, oh, I'm rich, you're poor, I can take your girl likes me more than you, you know, and things like that. You know, I think if people love you as an artist, you know, it is kind of dangerous, and I think too egotistical for you to take that love and give it back to them as some kind of admonishment.
Okay, so looking at the legal,
Artists don't have to be activists, but you
can
have
you
to
hear me?
I say for me, artists don't have to be activists, but you need to represent your people with your music.
Okay, looking at the legacy your father left behind, and looking at the entertainment industry, and looking at what a lot of artists are doing, like those that actually, do you think that a lot of these guys that are picking a few things from Fela, when I have interviews, they say, who inspired you? They say, Fela inspired me. Do you think a lot of them are actually inspired by Fela, or they just want to tie their inspiration to somebody that is legendary like your father?
No, I think a lot of them grew up in Christian and Muslim homes and need Fela as an excuse to smoke and chase girls.
Oh my God. Are you for real? Jesus Christ. You know,
Yeah, they don't
this
really.
narrative is crazy.
Yeah, because other than that aspect of Fela, which is a really really minute aspect, you know, and also using Fela as a reason to be reckless and rude to your elders, or you know, because they are not really rude to authority. Because you know what I noticed is there's a lot of lateral violence in Nigeria, a lot of lateral insults. So lateral is, you know, you are insulting people on your level, and a lot of descending insults, but very few ascending insults. So everybody wants to be rude to the old poor man or your old neighbor that is just, that you should respect, or your friends that are under you. But you're not really rude to the people on top in their face, when they come to your shows and you see them like the people that are destroying Nigeria sitting in front of you. You're not rude at that time. You are very humble. You are speaking proper English. You are shaking hands and bowing your head. At the place where you're supposed to be rude, you are not rude. So Fela's actions were targeted at authority, ascending, never at the people on his level or under him. Those were his people that he was fighting for. So Fela never spoke down to Nigeria. You can go and listen to Fela, 1 million of Fela songs. He never talked down to Nigerian people that are on the working class. His words were upward, ascending. That is the only time that in Nigerian, an African man is allowed to be rude to his elders, is to fight the power. So all Fela's actions, smoke weed, the Gowon was a Christian, his vice was a Muslim, they were all religious, moralists. So Fela had women. All Fela's action was targeted at a system so rigid, so conservative, that even artistry could not truly breathe. But Fela's life was a rebellion. They are status quo artists. They are status quo. I mean, how can you, but suddenly when it comes to respecting African women, no, that's the time you want to remember Fela, when you are insulting African women, trying to treat African women bad, forgetting that Fela married on his own, you know. He married them and put them in his house. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you want to smoke, you go on the street and misbehave. That's where you want to channel fella, but never in the aspect of liberating your people. And what I really don't like is when they now take fella's message and turn it to some kind of capitalist commercial message, about money, about living their own life. I mean, those things are not really what my father was about. But I understand them. I understand. People want to use fella in many ways that they want. And it's okay. It's okay.
All right. This is very, very key. Do you think that weed should be legalized in Nigeria?
I think weed should be legalized all over the world. I mean, not only in Nigeria. It's almost legalized all over the world. But they've not yet given Nigerian government green light. Our government, we have to wait until America and Britain call our president. Yes, it's time for you to legalize weed for your country. But don't grow it. Don't grow it. We will tell you the place to import our own from. Okay, that's our imported one is the one you should make sure your people are using. Okay. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Bye-bye. So then they will legalize it. Don't worry.
Wow. You actually have really spoken very well today. And now looking into partnerships for our industry. I think I don't think I'm.
Wait. You don't say because you are no call smoking bully this night. I don't do it since 9:30. They wait for you. I beg. This is my talk your talk. They go. At least I don't do your studio. I'm in my house.
I mean, light your thing. No worry, light your thing. All right. For me, I've always said this. I don't smoke weed, but I feel like weed should be legalized because of the economic, what it will do for us economically, right? Because we don't know this, right? A lot of people, right? A lot of people are sitting somewhere, right? And now you're smoking weed, but you didn't buy it through illegal means, right? So
I'm smoking, Ubi. I don't know what. I'm smoking. Fucking snitch.
oh my god.
I'm just smoking. I'm
okay,
smoking
you're smoking something
in my house.
in your house. Okay. Now, but you see, there needs to be a legal way of accessing this weed, and they need to legalize it. I've said it as a country in Nigeria, we need to legalize weed. And I've said this thing every time. But people say, oh, you're a church person. I said, listen, church. See, weed is medicinal, right? It's medicinal. So for medical reasons, legalize weed. A lot of us will go into weed selling if they legalize it. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, whether you legalize it or not, boys see the cut up for streets. You understand?
But listen, what I'm saying is, weed has been growing on earth before man even evolved. When we were still Homo erectus, running around in the jungle, not knowing what was going on, weed was already here. So for us to now become a conscious Homo sapiens, create our countries, create our law, they look at something that's been here before and say, you are not allowed to be here. It's just the height. It's the height of European egotistical chauvinism, cultural chauvinism, because really, the problem I have with African laws sometimes about these things is that we ourselves as Africans, we have not carried out independent research, right? There's no time that the top Nigerian researchers have used marijuana to do any kind of study to really know why it is illegal and decide for ourselves that, okay, yes, based on the study from Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria by Professor so and so, conducted over the course of 3 or 4 years by 100 test students and giving them so whatever, we now find that marijuana is bad. I swear I can even stop smoking it. But for us to just take a law that some people just wrote somewhere because they say so, and we just carry the law and paste it in our book and put it on our head. I mean, this is not how nations are built. I'm sorry. Those are our copy and paste because, you human beings are unique. For a country to truly develop, you need to actually look for unique solutions that match your country, that match your people. You know, because how can we continue to just watch 90% of every generation of Nigerian people will wither away, no matter the potential that they carry, no matter what, you know. And it's not even about legalizing weed alone, it's about opening all opportunities for Nigerian people. You know, so we can achieve our full potential. Imagine if you're a talented historian. I say this all the time. Success in Nigeria is so, for me, it's so meaningless. Because you can be a billionaire and you've added nothing to the country, just extract, right? And which is what all our billionaires, I always say, like, show me one billionaire in Nigeria that has actually brought something from his head and added it to Nigeria to make his billions. If there are 500 of them, maybe two or three. The rest will just go and position themselves in one industry that we need to survive. Whether it's the petrol that we use to drive our car or put in our gen, or the food that we eat, or the cement that we must use to build our homes. All those things that are necessity for humans to survive. They just go and position themselves there, be collecting money and say they are business mogul. Is that how Bill Gates became billionaire? Is that what Amazon did? You can see what they added to their country, that they are of value to their country. I was telling the bunch yesterday at his birthday, like, you can't even, we as artists, if Nigerian people truly had any sense, they will not compare us to any of the Nigerian billionaires in terms of the value, our value to this country. Because we go out of Nigeria and we first of all create our music, something that didn't exist before. We create music. Then we are able to take that music, go out and bring money into this country. We create our own value. How many of them can say that? That without Nigeria, because me, I know if I go and live in Spain, I'll still make it. Without Nigeria, if I go and live in anywhere I live, as long as I can play my music, I'll make it. How many of them can leave Nigeria without the access to Nigerian resources and still make it? How many of them? But here we are. If you're a talented historian, you can't be called successful because there's no program, there's no avenue for you in Nigeria to live. There's no avenue in Nigeria for you to practice, to actually there's no grant to help you expand, actually grow your talent to be successful. If you're a talented rocket scientist, theoretical physicist, astronomer, astrologer, I mean, all these great sciences that are really high-end employment, you know, robotics, these really high-end, and there are a lot of kids in Nigeria with the talent that will just waste away and wither and die. So it's not even about the weed dealers that are chased and allowed to wither and die. How about people that really want to do legitimate things? Forget things that they say is illegal, weed. How about people that want to do legitimate things? Where are the opportunities to match their potential? And we will sit down here singing about champagne and how we are fucking 5 girls every week and all the beautiful cars that we have and how our life is so great. Well, the real great people in this country are wasting away. I mean, it's just so sad, you know. It's really so sad. And so I just kind of, well, enjoy yourselves, you know. I mean, enjoy yourselves. It's a party.
So looking at our country right now, you think that the systematic issues going on within our country has affected the growth of our industry that we created on our own without government input? You think that now we've gotten to a point where government needs to support us, but government is not doing enough for us as a creative industry, and then we need to fend for ourselves on our, do you think that there's an effect from the government point of view in terms of how they can actually help us as an industry?
The only interest the government has for Nigerian industry is to hijack its influence. So I don't like when Nigerian artists also lie that government doesn't support them. That's a lie. We know it's a lie. I mean, we stop all these lies. Why are we just digging lies and lying and lying? We are supporting. What? First of all, there's no difference in my eye in Nigeria between government and business. They are one. It's the same people running our business. They are our politicians. When they do politics small, they will run business small. They go to politics small. They all give themselves money. I mean, we sit down here, you hear, oh, PDP is doing a fundraising. They raise 105 billion, right? How many times have you heard that Nigerian billionaires gather together to raise 105 billion for one university? Even 50 billion. So they just sit down, they raise 5 billion for Unilag, 10 billion for you can't have to, but election time, they raise 200 billion for APC. Where is it coming from? Why do you think that is? It's because they are one and the same. Everybody is in one committee, one economic team. Well, they are all together. It's all one and the same. I don't separate them. And then during elections, we see how politicians also throw money at throw a lot of money at musicians and entertainers and actors and comedians. I mean, we are making a killing, and come on, let's not even lie. It's for us now to channel what we are making to build what we want to build. The government, Nigerian government, are not building the country. Are they going to come and build music industry? They will never build it. Let's be happy that they need our influence. So the fact that they need our influence, they are putting money in our pocket. It is what we are doing with that money that is a problem.
So, having said this, right, looking at our music industry, what do you think the way forward is for us in terms of right now, when you look at the younger artists, when they get to a particular point in their career, they want to move away from the record label, let's call it the record label that has signed them, and they want to be independent artists. Now, looking at that, do you think it's good for business the way artists and record labels are fighting in the industry? Do you think it's good for business?
I think what Nigerian artists need to do is form like a really dope record label, like Ron DMC and his brother, Russell Simmons, and they formed Def Jam, which was the backbone of hip hop music for black music, because at that point it was going mainstream, and it was no longer a revolutionary thing, but they were able to create this platform called Def Jam, in East Coast. Death Row Records in the West Coast. No matter the history, no matter how crazy they were, but they were able to create that. And it is of those two record labels that anything you think is hip hop, in this modern gangster, flashy, commercial hip hop. I'm not talking about underground hip hop, because hip hop is really big. It's bigger than what is on Trace and MTV that they show us all the time. But based on this one that is at least bringing in a lot of money to a lot of artists, many of them sprung out from these two institutions, because they were no longer record labels. They became institutions that were able to direct, build, mold, create the kind of, market that their people could access and also grow into what it is today in the many forms, that we see hip-hop music. And I think Nigerian artists need to sit their asses down, stop jumping around. Not me, because nobody gives it. I'm not a part of the largesse. I'm not on any billboard, no sponsorship, no anything. Hey, you people should not count. Don't come and beat me after my own small change. He's the guy with the big change. Hey, you need to sit down and create an institution like that. Get professionals to run it. Put your face on it. It's your own. You are the president. Give yourselves any kind of positions you like there. Get professionals to run it, though. Don't pick it up. And then from there, start creating marketing. Open CD manufacturing plant. They've brought light. I'm changing over. Open CD manufacturing plant is steady distribution. So some people in Alaba don't sit down and just give you peanuts for your life's work, and things like that. And, we can really start creating our own even streaming platforms, that Nigerians will go and listen to our own music on, and we keep the money for ourselves completely. At least now the artists, nobody wants to buy our music. Nobody wants to buy records. Everybody thinks streaming is the way to go. Then let's own our own streaming platforms, and things like that. This is how we must start to think, This is how we must start to think.
All right, looking at Kosan.
Maybe that's why they don't like giving me that money, because they know if they give me that money, I'm going to change things. So they don't want to give me that money. Ubi, tell them to give me that money. Tell them. I know you have the mouth. Just call them. Say, let's give Seun the money for 2 years. Let's see what will happen. I'm here working too hard. When all my knees are paining me, Ubi, I'm working too hard. And I'm not even 40. Man has
All
to be doing
right.
70 shows a year just to sustain. What's going on?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Looking at Kosan,
Okay. Sorry.
what's your take on Kosan?
Nothing. I'm not a member, so I don't know. I don't talk about things that don't concern me. That's how I've been able to be like this. You see how I'm looking so young, even though my knees are old. I don't talk about things that don't concern me. I'm not a member. It doesn't concern me what they do. They tried to get me to join. In like 15 years ago when I released my first album. Okoroji, I think, yeah. What's his name again?
Chief Tony Okoroji.
Yeah, Chief Okoroji. I think it was Mr. Okoroji then. He was the chief then already. I don't know. But he was flying to France. He saw my music on Air France. We're like, wow, they're playing, you have your record on Air France. That's a lot of money, for your publishing. Who collects your royalties? We are creating a company here in Nigeria. Come and join. I was like, I'm already I'm already signed to SACEM in France. So thank you. I'm like, but come home to Nigeria where I know there's no government oversight. You can do as you like with my money and my people. You are joking. You are joking. I mean, I don't want to kill somebody. You people are nice people. Me, I could not kill person. Hey.
Oh my God.
What we'll be discussing now is my mother case, not all this what we are discussing. Because so I didn't join, so I didn't join. So I've never really followed Koson, put my mouth in Koson, known anything. Because if the government is not protecting us, then what can we do? What can we really do? And you can't take the law into your own hands. That's the time they will jump out and bring big chest. So I can't be exposed like that with my future, So that's why I really enjoy Koson, Because I looked at, even though they were registered in Nigeria, there was no, the government did not create any laws to back it. Something like that must be backed by laws. They have to create laws, national laws. You understand? You don't just create an institution like that without bylaws in the constitution, that will run.
Question is created by law. But the problem a lot of people are having is
it's created by law. But what I'm saying is that there was no real how do I put it? Yeah, I mean, it was not a yes, is an entity. It's recognized by law, but there was no real, how do I put it? There was no real amendments exactly of our copyright laws. On the side of the artist, for checks and balances on issues like this. Even when P-Man had their issue that time and divided into two and all that, that's when I started to realize that there were no real laws in terms of checks and balances. Yes, there were laws on how it operates, the tenure of the people, the election time, the positions that he must carry, the way the board must be, did this thing. There's some little regulations, but they were not really as, precise as it should be in order for these kind of things not to happen to artists. Basically, what I'm saying is that the laws did not really protect artists enough. There was too much power in the hands of the institution, And that is what the artists are suffering today. That you have to, whatever you do, the institution has the final say. Except you now want to make it like a civil, take it to industrial court and things like that. Because I know you've been really vocal on the issue, trying to get some kind of resolution.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We're actually talking about it because there are issues these are underlying issues where every artist is complaining. If you ask this artist, are you part of Kosan? They'll say, no, I don't want their problem. Now, the thing is, it's not like there are problems, but the thing is, conversations need to be had. Communication, we lack communication in this our part of town, and it's the lack of communication that has put Kosan in the position where they are, because artists don't want to deal with them. They are saying, okay, this is the job they are doing. And now I think that for me, for what I have seen so far is Kosan have been unable to actually sit down and have a conversation with us. I had Chief on the other day on the show, and he was talking. After he finished talking, he didn't know that most of the things he said, people took him, oh, so this is how it actually works. Now, but Chief thought that I came to attack him. I don't have any issue with Chief. I'm not attacking Chief for any reason. All I'm doing is asking obvious questions that are on the internet for him to answer us and tell us, okay, hey, these are the things that these are my answers to the allegations that have been put forward to me.
Are you a journalist?
Well, right now I am.
So you have the right to attack anybody. Nobody should feel bad that a journalist attacked them. You carry gun.
Well,
I will only feel bad if you say a soldier attack you, a police attack you, a dog attack you, a lion attack you. But how can a journalist attack you? What do you do? Stab you with his pen? Hit you in the head with his recorder? It's
Chief,
only
actually,
in Nigeria that our elites use those words. Journalists attack me. Did he tear your shirt?
Chief actually did a full write-up on Saturday about me. A full write-up. When I read it, I was just laughing. I was like, Chief, I'm not attacking you. All I was just saying is Nigerians are demand a lot of artists. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Network.
Sorry, let me switch to my.
Can you hear me? All right, we lost him. I think he's going to come back on. Let's see if we can bring him back on. Okay. Excuse me.
First of all, my nephew is there saying that I don't ghost. Damn me, you're a goat. I've seen what you wrote here. When I see you, I'm going to give you a knock. Useless boy. All these my nephews don't have respect. They're all Malians.
All right. Having said this, what's the advice you have for three sides of the industry? The record companies in Nigeria, the artists in Nigeria, and the government.
Well, government, I don't know. They don't listen to advice. The only advice I have for government is for the Nigerian people. That we have to organize and topple this group of leaders and bring new, vibrant people with ideas from all spectrum of life. I mean, there's no discussion with them. They are sitting on too much and doing just absolutely nothing with it for me to want to discuss. There's no, I don't see and forget those ones, but let's talk about artists. Let's talk about us, the people. I'm willing to talk to Nigerian people because the solution to Nigerian problem, this is where it is. Record companies have to start being created. We don't have them yet. We have record labels. Record labels should now start becoming companies, that really are looking at the interest of artists in the long term, that are investing in artists from young age, expanding, musicianship in schools. We should have a few schools in communities where, record labels are like encouraging children to be musicians, not just entertainers, but musicians, so that we are developing the arts. These are what companies do with their A&R, with their marketing, with their outreach programs and things like that. But we need to become companies to achieve that. And that's why I said, like, in this modern world, the line between artist and label has completely been erased. Many artists are indie. I'm indie. Many artists, go from production to release to distribution by themselves. They don't wait for any record label anymore. They by themselves are their own label. So we all have the experience, but what we now need is the solidarity, the how do I put it? The willingness, let me put it that way, the willingness, the camaraderie to say, okay, this generation of artists, we are going to recreate what our predecessors had in the 70s. That kind of system that could create a fella, that could create a Sonny Ade, a barista, that could give us so many great musicians, Victor Waifo, who could create music that could stand the test of time, you know. And we had a plethora of them, you know, so many great musicians coming out in that time, you know, and things will start changing when Nigeria, you know, in the 70s, all the great artists in the world came to Nigeria, man, came to not only Nigeria, to Ghana, to Senegal, because it was so vibrant, it was so large what we were doing here, you know. Who didn't come? James Brown, Stevie Wonder. I mean, everybody was here. Everybody came on their own when there were shows. They came for Festa, but they all came on their own just to mix. Paul McCartney, you know, they come on their own just to mix with Nigerian artists. Not this one about the ones running to America and England to do Snapchat and Instagram to farm. Because truly, you know, this is Africa, and the soul of real music, that rhythm is here. You know, so we just need to come together, you know, really drop all this our baggage and our ego and say, let's build something. Let's build something truly great together. You know, let's not involve that stupid Seun Kuti, because, you know, his mouth is too big and he will not let, you know, you can spoil it with his big mouth. No problem. But let's do something great, you know. I mean, my what I call our existence, all my friends know, I call this generation the liberation generation. Even though many of us don't know it yet, that is our purpose. That is what we're going to end up doing, whether organized or disorganized. What I don't want is for it to be disorganized. I wish we could have it in a really organized way where we liberate ourselves, you know, without bloodshed, without acrimony, you know, without any negativity. But these elites are not giving us the chance, you know. But this generation is the liberation generation, you know, because Mother Africa cannot take it anymore. You know, the camel's back has broken, you know. Things got to give.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't like to separate what is going on in the Nigerian music industry from the larger Nigerian experience. That's another mistake we make. We want to isolate ourselves. We want to say, oh, what can we do to fix the Nigerian music? No, as we are fixing the Nigerian music industry as Nigerian artists, the Nigerian project must be our goal too. We must be seeing how this our project is tapping into other sectors of Nigerian experience. How we are going to employ scientists, how we are employing accountants, lawyers, because we are going to employ all these people and they are all out of, you know, so the sector is, so what kind of lawyer is the Nigerian university employing? Why do I need to go to New York to pay a lawyer so much, or to London or to France to pay lawyers? What kind of lawyers are we producing in Nigerian universities? So that means the Nigerian educational system is my business. I want to see us creating lawyers that can represent me. I want to see us creating accountants that can do my books globally. So I'm not paying accountants all over the world. I can pay somebody that looks like me and, you know, that understands my uniqueness as a Nigerian and run my account for me that way. You understand me? You know? So all these things are tied together. We are not in isolation because we are artists. You know, although we tend to want to believe so, you know, we live in a bubble with all our bodyguards and our mopo security and our high fences, you know, and our swag and swagu and swagger and swagest, you know. So I mean, we need to remove the
Man, you see, I won't lie to you, man. You have actually made this session very, you've added more value to our industry conversation, because you're relating our industry to the issues that happen every day in Nigeria. And
yeah.
it actually makes sense, because
But whether we like it or not, we as artists, we are the spokesperson, we are the spokesmen of Nigerian people. And we are dropping the borders and say we don't represent them. We are their spokesmen, but we don't talk for them. You know, we go there and talk at them. You know, we are their spokesperson. We have to talk for them. You know, we have to, you know, I mean, we are their voice. That's why artists have the talent. That's why you are giving the gift. You are giving the gift not because you are going for you to make money and take care of your family. No, you are giving the gift, you know, to speak for your people. That's why you have the gift. If you are a sculptor, to sculpt for your people. If you are a dancer, to dance for your, that is why you have the gift. And everybody that betrays the gift, you know, they don't end up quite well. That's something again I realized.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you for coming, because this was a very insightful conversation, and I really want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity and staying up late at least to talk to us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you,
From
sir.
9:30. You see, I
I'm very
was
sorry.
speeding home, so I will not be late. If I had known, I couldn't even buy foil in my car. Ah, Ubi, you are wicked.
I'm very sorry, but you at least we enjoyed the session. It was good you
It
came
was
this
fine.
time.
I mean, what can I do? I can't complain.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Good night. All right, guys, I enjoyed that session. It was a brilliant session. I really enjoyed the session. Let me see if I think Aldo is somewhere busy. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today, the industry conversation. We had a great day with different art celebrities that have been on the show today. Young Six did good, Mologo did good, DJ Abbas killed it, Sylvia killed it, Highness also did his thing today, and the big boss, the big bird, Seun Kuti, came and made sure that he leveled the ground properly. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Back on the industry conversation on Saturday. We'll have another industry, but Talks with Ruby Franklin continues tomorrow. Big shout out to Glenn Fiddick for sponsoring this show. Good night, guys. Appreciate you for watching.